Hi guys, hello and welcome to yet another live chat of Baby Chakra. आज हमारा live chat बहुत ही special है because we have Dr. Pallavi Utekar with us. She is a very renowned dermatologist and an aesthetic physician in Bombay. So before I introduce her to you guys and we start the topic about today's topic, which is busting the top 5 myths that we are aware of about babies' sensitive skin. Let me just give you a very quick background about Dr. Pallavi. So, as I mentioned, she is a dermatologist and an aesthetic physician having 11 years of work experience. She also has done her fellowship in dermatology from abroad. She has also worked as a lecturer in Rajiv Gandhi Medical College, Thane. She has efficiently handled many dermatological emergencies. She has her own skin establishment under the name My Skin in Thane. So, Dr. Pallavi, thank you so much for doing this live chat with us today and welcome on board.
Thanks, Apurva, and hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right. So, guys, before I dive into today's conversation, आप please अपने questions comment box में छोड़ दीजिए and we will be taking it up with the doctor eventually as we go ahead progress with the chat. So, doctor, as you're aware, we are busting the top 5 myths जो हमारे दिमाग में हमेशा होते हैं related to baby skin, and most of the times we are not aware कि is this the truth, is this a myth. So this is what we are going to unveil today with you. Now, starting with a top myth that we all have in our head, and that is water is enough. So, क्या सच में water is enough?
For cleansing?
Yes, for cleansing.
Okay. So, okay. I will divide it in two segments. One is for very newborn babies, and for the one elder babies. So this question usually comes when we are talking about a newborn, and usually the pediatrician sometimes they advise that don't give bath to your baby or don't use any harsh products. Okay, both the things. Okay, so first is I will go to a water. Water is enough. When you're talking about a newborn, usually in any household, you take care of your newborn at a very high level. Your sensitivity about taking care and about hygiene is very high at that point of time. So at that point of time, if you feel that your newborn skin is really delicate, sometimes the babies are preterm, sometimes they are not well matured enough when you take them home. At that point of time, yes, you should be using just water at that point of time, but it should be advised by your pediatrician. Okay, just considering this, that water is going to be enough for any baby for first 6 months or 5 months, or if I use any other baby products to cleanse my baby's skin, it will harm the products. No, this is completely a myth. The baby products are meant to be used in babies, so they are tested accordingly. First thing, so it's not that they are harsh on your baby's skin. Yes, each baby, each person has a different skin, and that's why we have this range of products available in the market. So when you are going to choose a product for your baby, you can be choosy about it. You can actually consider your baby's skin. You can take advice from a dermatologist or a pediatrician and then choose the products. But not using, for example, I had patients who were not using baby shampoo for their kids. Now, these newborns or up to 6 months, they have a tendency to get something like dandruff on their scalp. We call it as cradle cap. So they were not using this product. Now, how you will clean it? You cannot clean it just with the water. It's an oily substance which is getting deposited, and it is not a disease at all. It is just because of maternal hormones influence. आपकी मदर के जो hormones है उनके influence की वजह से ये आ रहा है cradle cap. But you need to cleanse it.
True.
Another thing, there is high chance, specifically now, so we are aware that our hands are carrying like lakhs and millions of bacteria and viruses, so we are washing it again and again, but it's not possible that we keep them completely clean when we are handling our newborn. So we are inadvertently passing on those microbes to our new babies. As we need soap or some substance to cleanse our skin, even their skin needs it. So just water will not be enough unless and until it is strictly guided or advised by your pediatrician or a dermatologist.
So guys, please take note of that. It was a very, very valuable, point that was shared by Dr. Pallavi, because a lot of times, we are told that nahi sirf pani se ho jayega solve. So yeah, I mean, it's
No,
definitely
it is not that, because if you now after coming out in this world, the baby is in the same environment as yours. तो वो भी उतनी pollution और उतनी dust और उतनी सारी चीजों को expose है. You feel that आपको clean होने के लिए ये चीजें जरूरी है. Baby will need milder soap or milder shampoo, but baby will need it.
correct. Very true. So on that note, Dr. Pallavi, let me talk about the second myth, and that is only babies with sensitive skin get rashes and eczema and the other sorts of skin conditions. So is it true, or like any baby's skin type can get any of these skin conditions?
Okay, this is I will explain it in with this question actually, that how will you know that your baby's skin is sensitive? Unless and until your baby develops a rash, you don't know that, right? Can you predict at what age your baby will develop a rash?
No.
So it can be 2 days, 2 months, 2 years, or even in the adulthood. It is true for every person. So unless and until you develop that, you don't know that your skin is sensitive, right? So this is a basic thing. Now we have a very typical saying going like prevention is better than cure. So even if your skin is not established as a sensitive skin, specifically for babies, it is always better to treat it like a sensitive skin. So that if your baby's skin is sensitive, already sensitive, and you're already treating it like that, the development of rashes or eczema will be delayed or it will be less severe. So first thing is, don't assume that your baby's skin is sensitive or not sensitive. Treat it as if it is sensitive. Once your baby is grown up enough after 2 years or so, and you want to switch to the products, don't want to use the sensitive skin products and I want to try other products for my baby, fair enough, go ahead, do it, but in a guarded way, because it takes baby skin some time to mature. Till it matures, you have to consider each and every baby's skin as a sensitive skin, and you have to choose it accordingly. Apart from that, it is going to be for every baby, it is going to be that day which is going to be the first day of their rashes, and suddenly there is going to be a eureka thing that, oh my god, the skin is reacting. So no one can predict it. So every baby has a chance of developing rashes, eczema and everything. Unless and until it is developed, you don't know that. So treat it like a sensitive. So I want to clear the myth for this, that only babies only with the sensitive skin, those babies who are having sensitive skin, they will only develop it. So all babies have a sensitive skin. If they develop it, it is established. If they don't develop it, it is not established. That's it.
Very valid point. So okay, moving on. There's a very ongoing, not ongoing actually, this is something we have been hearing from our past generation as well, that using sunscreen on baby's skin is going to be more harmful than good.
Okay. Okay.
So many parents, they get confused how to protect this baby's skin from the sun.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now the sunscreen has come in a market in last 10, 20 years max, not more than that. So no one was using the sunscreen before. Okay. Now coming to baby using the sunscreen, we have a sunscreen in the market which are, as a dermatologist, we never suggest a sunscreen to any baby below 6 months. Usually they don't need it.
Okay.
Because they don't go out in sun. Another thing, after 6 months, does your baby need sunscreen on daily basis? No, they don't.
Okay.
Okay. The baby's Most of the time, till they are 1 or 2, they are indoors. So it's okay for them to go out in sunlight, have some sunburn as well, have some sunlight exposure, because one, it is necessary for the vitamin D synthesis, and secondly, it is necessary for the skin to adapt to sunlight. It is not that no one is born with that adaptation. As we go out in sunlight, our skin gets adapted to that, and that's how we don't react to sunlight after we are 10, 12. Otherwise, if you don't give that exposure and you always protect the skin will not be ready for sunlight exposure. It is impossible for any human being to guard themselves completely from sunlight. So you have to give your baby that chance to use a sunscreen or to get exposed to sunlight, and let them skin develop or adapt to it. After 2-3 years, when they start going out, and specifically in last 5-6 years, when we are talking about global warming and all, and the sunlight, the weather conditions are really changing. Obviously, it will change from place to place. If you're sitting in Kerala and you're talking about sunscreen, probably it's right, you are next to the sea and the sunlight is pretty high. But if you're sitting somewhere in Himalayas, I mean, Himachal Pradesh and all, and you have you're in a village and not that much of sunlight at that point of time, no need to apply sunscreen to your babies. But if you know, according to the place where you're staying and according to the amount of sunlight exposure your child is having, probably you're going to a beach for a picnic, apply sunscreen, because there it's not going to be an adaptation process. There will be definitely going to be a sunburn. So apply sunscreen to your baby, and at that point of time, protect it. But while choosing the sunscreen, choose a sunscreen preferably which mentions clearly that it is safe in babies. And I always prefer, in babies, you should be using a physical sunscreen. There are types of sunscreens which are available in the market. So there is something called as chemical sunscreen and physical sunscreen. Chemical sunscreen usually have some interaction with our skin, whereas physical sunscreen just forms a physical barrier. So there are physical sunscreens available specifically for babies in the market. So you can go for those.
Yeah, got it. So on that note, there is a very common belief that a sunscreen with SPF, let's say 100 plus, provides 3 times the sun protection, than what a SPF 30 plus would do. Or you can't get a sunburn if it's a cloudy day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. First question. It is with it has been recorded that if your SPF your sunscreen has SPF of 30, you might be getting a protection of 90%. Okay, 90% of 90% of UV rays are getting absorbed. If your SPF is 50, it might go to 95. And if your SPF is 100, probably to 100%. Now we are talking about 30, 50, and 100, and the percentage, the UV ray percentage is 90, 95, and 100. So I don't feel there is a huge difference between 90 and 100, frankly. So SPF 100 is not going to be like super efficient as compared to SPF 30. Okay, what is important is the safety measures of the sunscreen. The sunscreen has got physical properties more than the chemical sunscreen ingredients. Go for it. Maybe it has a SPF of 30. Go for it for your baby when we are talking about babies. Secondly, when you are applying a sunscreen, there are multiple factors which are playing role. Like you have applied a sunscreen, but you are sweating after that. It will come off. Not even a single sunscreen can stay on your skin when you are sweating a lot. Or you wash your face, or you just rub your face, or babies are being fed or something like that, and just sunscreen comes off. Then if it is SPF 30 or SPF 100 doesn't matter. Okay, so there are multiple factors. So I guess more than SPF, what you should consider is if it is a physical sunscreen or a chemical sunscreen. If it is a physical sunscreen, when we are talking about kids in general, then it should be preferred over any other chemical sunscreen which is having SPF 100.
Okay.
Okay, and the second question, sorry, second part you asked
was the it's a cloudy day, so I won't get sunburn.
Okay. So usually as a dermatologist, someone who is having some kind of disorder or a condition where they need sunscreen on a regular use, and strict sun protection. These are the words that we talk. So we tell them that you have to wear your sunscreen even at home. Okay. And they usually say that I'm at home, I'm not going out. Why do I need to wear my sunscreen? So simple question that in the morning, do you switch on the lights? Most of the times we don't. So there is a light outside. I mean, where does that light come from? That it comes from, it's a sunlight. So how you can be sure that this sunlight doesn't have UV rays? So similarly, even on the cloudy day, when you go out, if there is a light, it's a sunlight, and sunlight can always have UV rays. So you're supposed to wear sunscreen, even if it is a cloudy day, even if it is a rainy day, or even if it is a sunny day. That doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, this was a very big myth that was busted right now. So yeah, okay, continuing. It's believed that bath should be given to the baby every day, every single day. So,
Okay.
they say, it will keep your baby dirt free, germs free. You must have your bathing sessions every day. So yeah.
See, frankly speaking, traditionally we have these customs that after the baby is born, there is going to be uh, the woman who comes at home and she gives a oil massage to a baby and the bathing session. So it's a routine that we are looking at. So as a dermatologist and as a mother and as a doctor, I feel that it's a good practice to continue unless and until your baby is having some condition where it should be your doctor suggests that don't do it. Otherwise go ahead, because yes, you have to be vigilant. You can't be like, okay, do whatever you want to do. You have to practice the right methods to do it. But even if you're not following this routine, I feel that the kind of environment, I mean, I'm staying in Mumbai. So in Mumbai, we are surrounded by a lot of pollution, to be very, very frank. And it's too much of humidity. So unless and until your baby is really showing some signs of eczema or severe dryness, there is no harm in giving your baby a daily bath. Okay. Probably while choosing a product with which you should be giving bath, you can be selective. Like if your baby is having too sensitive skin, you can go for products according. Or someone who is having really very dry skin, we advise that give oil massage before you take your baby for baby. So you can do the modification, but again, it depends on the weather conditions that you are living in. Someone who is living in very dry and relatively low temperature uh, kind of weather, then they can definitely skip bathing their babies on. I mean, they can skip one day, or they can bathe the baby, give a bath to their baby on alternate days. So that is okay, but it really doesn't have a rule.
Okay, good to know. Got it. Okay, so coming to our last myth, and this I know for a fact that everybody struggles with, and this is that all baby products are safe and gentle. It is
Okay.
specially designed for babies, so ये product अच्छा है. It's going to be mild on my baby.
Yes, this is not just a myth for babies or their parents. This is a myth for everyone, I guess, because patients come to me and they tell me, I mean, I won't name the product, but I use this product and this has to be safe for me, even the adult people. So I just want to say that yes, the baby products are meant to be safer for babies. Definitely, they have to pass through those tests before they actually land up in the market. So yes, that is true. But in previous question also, as we covered that each person or each baby has got a different skin type, and so the whatever product is suiting one baby is did not it will suit the other baby as well. So you really have to be you have to keep on observing that how your baby's skin is reacting, and mother is the best person to observe it. She
Right.
can actually pick up the changes this, and she can tell you that no, this product is not working. So I feel that baby products which come in the market, we have a fairly good system where they come after a lot of testing. But you cannot label them that, okay, just because it's a baby product and it's in the market, it's safe for my baby. You have to actually have to try, or probably you have to go through the reviews, or you can, best ways, you can go and ask your pediatrician or a dermatologist or someone who can guide you.
Valuable input, understood. So yeah, I mean, if I talk about the Baby Chakra products that we recently launched, I mean, we have got the certifications done in place, like let's say, the FDA approved and all organic naturals. So yeah, I mean, it's advisable. I mean, this is what we also keep telling our customers, that always read the back of your labels.
Yes.
So I think that's a good way to judge what exactly you're putting on your baby's skin. So,
Yes.
on that note, Dr. Pallavi, we have a couple of questions that we have got from the audience. So, yeah, first question is, why do some children's brands have such high level SPFs, even when it's not really, as you rightly mentioned, it's not really needed for my baby's skin?
Okay. Okay. See, you will always find, this is what you will always find different school of thoughts.
Yeah.
So it is more of that, it's going on that line. Even if the SPF is higher, see, if your baby's skin is, when we are talking about really babies which are 1 or 2 years, I will always suggest go for a physical sunscreen. But beyond that, when we are talking about kids who are 3 and 4, where you really need sunscreen, and you are having a sunscreen which is giving you SPF 100, which is probably prescribed to you by the dermatologist or a pediatrician, and it is also showing the effect that it lasts longer, then there is no harm in using it, even if it is a chemical one. Okay, because I guess your pediatrician has judged the skin type that your child has, and accordingly they have prescribed. So there is no harm. But as I said, that SPF just mentions the protection factor. It is a sun protection factor, that how much protection it will give you. When we say SPF 100, probably 100% protection, but there are multiple other factors which are playing role. So if you are not following those, that SPF 100 doesn't mean anything.
Right.
We're just trying to, by increasing the SPF, the companies are trying to give you better coverage. But SPF 30 won't be like, oh, it is not giving you any coverage at all. No, it's 90% almost.
Got it. Got it. There's one more question that says, what does it really mean when a product says pediatrician recommended?
Hmm.
Especially brands which have phenoxyethanol, perfume, etc. in them. So, like,
Okay.
yeah.
So usually, this is what is my understanding of this, that usually whenever any company or any kind of organization comes in the market with some products, they have to go through some kind of testing, and one of it is they have to get certification, or at least the reviews by these pediatricians or the dermatologists, because they are seeing the patients day in day out. They are seeing different types of skin, and they are seeing different types of conditions which kids are suffering with, so they know what will suit them better, so they can give you better advice. So when it suggests that it is a pediatrician certified, probably they involve some pediatrician on the board and they get their reviews while developing a product. So that's what is my understanding.
Okay. Understood. Understood. Okay. So, we have some time. So, we'll take some more questions. It says, my baby's lips are so dry and flaky. Can you help me with how can I take care of it? I think this is an adult problem as well.
Yes. So, but when we are talking about babies, we cannot just ask them go and apply the lip balm. So for adults, we can.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about babies and they're having excessively dry skin, firstly, yes, how to treat it? The commonest thing and easily available thing that you can use is ghee, which is available in each and every household, because it's a very good emollient, and you are not worried that if my baby eats it, what will happen. So
Okay.
it's the best thing to do. followed by that, if it's means it's a 3-4-year-old kid where you can really guide them through that, don't eat whatever you are putting on your lips, then petroleum jelly is a better solution. Apart from that, nothing is important. But this is about treating the dry lips. You have to consider why the child is getting dry lips. So there can be multiple conditions associated with it. Simple thing is child is not drinking enough water. Can be the basic condition behind it. Or child is having eczema. The child is showing very dry skin. So you have to pick on it. It should not be like just it is a dry lips and you're treating the dry lips and you're not aware about what is the exact condition that child is suffering. So it should not be left just ki होठ तो सभी के crack होते तो बच्चे के भी हो रहे हैं. It is very rare to find that in a child.
Got it, got it. So we'll just take one last question. And it says, how do I protect my baby from rashes?
Okay, as I said, that you have to consider your baby is having sensitive skin unless and until proven otherwise. So you have to use all those products which are supposed to be used in a sensitive skin. Now, for the routine, like you have to protect. So for the routine, using a mild shampoo and a mild cleanser while taking bath, and if possible, give a oil massage before taking your baby for bathing. And after having bath, you can just apply a good amount of moisturizer and before going to bed as well. So if you just follow this routine, 90% of the patients never get any rashes. There are always going to be 10% of those kids who are having extra sensitive skin and they will develop the rash.
Understood. No, that was a very valuable thought, and I think with the steps that you have mentioned about how to take care of your baby's skin, I think the moms who are listening to us today have gathered enough information. Guys, if you still have questions, we have Dr. Pallavi on board with us on the Baby Chakra app. You can simply reach out to her. You can reach out to us, and we'll do the right connections, with her, and you can take the consultation ahead with her. On that note, Dr. Pallavi, thank you so much for joining us today and helping us busting these myths. I mean, I personally was aware कि ठीक है जो यहाँ पे बोला गया है वैसा ही होता है. I personally learned a lot today in terms of how to take care of your skin and your baby's skin on that front. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was lovely having you.
Apurva. This was it was all my pleasure, and thanks a lot that you gave me opportunity to reach out to these wonderful moms. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Pallavi, and thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.